So Scorpio, this is your monthly reading, Sun in Aquarius and Moon in your sign. So the headlines for the reading will be this combination where you get empowered through the age of Aquarius, because we are spinning into the age of Aquarius. Just that you know, I do right and left spinning readings, and here we of course see how the Earth spins around its own axis to the right in 24 hours. Meanwhile, it spins also around the Sun in 365 days to the right. So these are the monthly readings that you get all year. And then on your full moon, which is opposite of your sign, Taurus, you get a left spinning reading, and that's due to this wobble the Earth does around its own axis as well. So it's very interesting, right? We spin around the axis to the right, but a very slow wobble that lasts 25,800 years to the left happens as well. And that's then when we calculate through the 12 zodiac signs, and we become like an age of 2,150 years. We are moving currently from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And so this is going to be a very important reading, because each time when Aquarius is in the Sun, we're getting a taste of what the future is bringing. Not that tarot brings future in general, but it's kind of like, this is where we're heading into. We're heading into an age, a new age. And so Aquarius, the revolution, right? Uranus is ruling Aquarius, and it's the 11th house of friendship. So now friendships are going to be very important. Yeah? With whom are you connected, right? Who do you know? And you, the 8th house of incarnation, ruled by Pluto, the judge, is always showing us that we are constantly transforming ourselves with each inhale and with each exhale. Every cell gets just renewed every 7 years. The 7 is here in the 17th major arcana, and you are the 13th major arcana. And so already here we can see there is magic that combines you both through the one. But here we have the 7, there's a success now that's coming to us. And the 3, it's like this constant giving birth to the new you. Then when we calculate together, we have an 8, and here we have a 4. So this is exactly the half of this card, right? And so the 8 is that infinite power, the infinite potential to renew and shift yourself. And the 4 becomes the responsibility. The yoga position that I gave Aquarius is the side plank Santolanasana. Here we stretch one leg and one arm up into the air, because Aquarius is an air sign, and the other two are respectively on the ground and on the water, the same way her feet are here, one on the water and one on the ground. And through the hexagram, through the third eye, we experience the 7th chakra, which is the 7th star that is falling down, so that we or you then can become the 8th star that shines here on Earth, right? That's what the influence of Sun in Aquarius is doing to you. You get, on the other hand, get the biggest transformation that we can practice in yoga, which is Vrikshasana, the Scorpio pose. We bring our feet above our head, and we have to be very focused, very still, very concentrated to achieve this position. And the transformation through that is imminent. The transformation of being in that stillness, because death is stillness. And so here we recognize that the Scorpio is walking into the right spinning path, which is the human path, and Aquarius is facing the left spinning path, which is the soul path. And that's why I'm doing these different readings, to say the way I put them together. It just came to me, right? And so I'm sharing that with you so that you understand how I work. So now you're getting a small reading of 13 cards, 13 the transformation. And then on your full moon, you get a soul reading. You get all 22 major arcanas lying here. And so I read that from right to left. Your court card is the King of Cups. He's facing the right spinning path. If your birthday is between October 13 and November 12, this is your court card. If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all the court cards with their dates, and of course all the cards that I'm using, and the decks, of course, using on each position a different deck, so it's quite eclectic. To your last reading, where you had Capricorn Sun giving the light to Scorpio Moon, the message was you're witnessing an increase of magical alchemy in your life. Because you had the Witness, which was the last card here of the mystical shaman from Alberto Villoldo. And then you had the Cosmic Womb, and you had the alchemy or the magic here with the two hands. And so I can recognize that Capricorn is the social status, has brought to you that push to maybe recognize yourself in a different way. And so today this reading is going to be about how different and radical and revolutionary you can be through the push of Aquarius, because that's what Aquarius does, right? This is like concentrating in such a way your mental state of being so that you can recognize in the transformation not a death, but a shift to a higher consciousness. So let's begin. On the position of the Fool, a state of consciousness that is coming from the soul, that's why it's left spinning, comes the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is always that moment in your life where recognizing the two elements, the two most important elements, which is inhale and exhale, right and left, male and female are crossing. And here in the center we have the banner of the Visconti Sforza Taureau, speaking about if you do right or if you act right, then right things will come back to you. So the soul is letting you know, keep actually recognizing these two elements, these two forces, and unite them. That's why they're crossed, right? Every crossing is like unite right and left, male and female, and as such it then becomes a union, right? And it's not anymore a division. So this is Mars in Aries, and Aries is the responsibility, is the number 4. And of course, you calculated together become also a 4, right? And so to take responsibility about your actions is what this state of consciousness is literally letting you know. And it's coming from your soul, right? Take care of your actions. Take responsibility of it and unite these differences. Unite what seems impossible to unite, but male and female, in the end, they come together, and the attraction is so strong that they are, in the end, coming together and become one, right? That's then in the sexual act, which is, by the way, your body parts are the sex organs. So you're also sexually very strong. And that's why I created the Phoenix rising behind Scorpio, because it's this each time, right, we have had an orgasmic moment. That doesn't have to be its sexual nature. It's also when I eat a very delicious meal, I have a type of orgasm in my mouth, in my brain, in my whole system, right? So now in the position of the Magician comes the Lightning, and the Lightning is the number 30. The 3 and the 0. The 3 then connects to the Empress. And so you are recognizing that when I combine the two, I give birth to the 3, right? And the 3 is the new 1, and the Magician is the number 1, and he is almost pointing up with this wand, which looks like a lightning in itself, right? And giving you the power of huge electricity, huge charge. And it's really interesting because the fire element that here the ones are giving or bringing or coming to you is literally then resulting into the number 3. So the 2, we go successively into the 3. And here comes a bolt of lightning from above, from the heavens, awakening you and giving you, yes, connect with that, connect with this energy, because it's speaking in Alberto Villoldo's book about the fact that here you have the gathered energies of the inspiration and creativity of the upper world, and allow this divine gift of awakening to take root in your being and enjoy a renewed sense of clarity, passion, and vision. So it's kind of like you're getting a vision here, right? You're getting a clear vision as that inspiration, because that's the state of consciousness in your brain that is recognizing the thought of the fool that is saying, act, right? Act and unite the dualities as such that you then get the 3, and on the position of the 1 you get immediately the 3, which is then the lightning, and the result is an inspiration that's literally flooding you, that is really inspiring you. On the position of the High Priestess comes here this beautiful black and white deck from the Order of the Golden Dawn, which was created 1888 in London. So here we have the King of Wands, which is the Prince of the Chariot of Fire. So this is very fiery, what's happening here. So then your intuition, the state of consciousness with the High Priestess, is your intuition is literally saying, okay, what am I going to do with that? Because, I mean, you see here, she sits in the center between black and white, and she's really the one that is always being pushed to be between the 2, and in the Rider-Waite, or the description of this card, the 2 as the Roman number, it's the vagina that we can enter, and when we enter that, then the 3 appears, right? And so the 3 appears as that inspiration, as that lightning, and sometimes an orgasm can feel like a lightning because it's an electrical charge. Your nervous system has been pushed to a whole new level, and then you get the King of Wands, which is Leo, right? And Leo is that fiery aspect that knows how to handle the 2 of Wands, and then the lightning. And so there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of energy going on here right now through Sun in Aquarius. On the position of the Empress then comes here the Lovers, the number 6. And the Lovers is self-love, first and foremost. And then once you have achieved that, which depicts the crossing of the arms, and again, you can see that here the 2 of Wands are speaking exactly from that, right? Once I understand that I have within myself a right side, which is connected to my left hemisphere, and the left side, which is connected to my right hemisphere of the brain, then I understand what this crossing means. This crossing means that I have become so clearly in love with myself that I am crossing my arms. I don't need the right, neither the left path. I'm not pulled by either way, and that's why the angel above you can literally point at your head, because now you are in union. And that's also why he has one red leg and a green leg, right? And it's this puzzle that is literally saying, okay, yes, you have dualities always through 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 legs, etc. And so the magic is the triangle that it's pointing into the center, and then again here the triangle that's pointing of the arrow to the center of your head, to that state of consciousness that you are achieving by uniting dualities within you, right? And then you can always find a partner, but not before that, because otherwise you're going to go through quite some lessons, because that's what a partner does. A partner brings up the worst and the good in you, so just that you know that. And of course, this is the state of consciousness of the Empress. She gives birth to the self-love, a self-love that's very strong, that's very clear, speaking to you. And then comes you, the King of Cups, right? And from there, you're sitting on your throne, and you can literally bring that cup of love to anybody. But you're quite secluded here on the ocean in the middle of nowhere, right? And the right people will find you. And also you reign from this really powerful body, right? The emotional body, the oceans. I mean, it's extremely powerful what you have underneath you, and you can really become a master in the how you actually handle your emotions. And sometimes these emotions can literally crush you, and sometimes they can really uplift you. So then after that comes the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is again a state of consciousness that is saying, okay, what is all of this about? And you see how she's literally looking at him and he's looking at her, and it's like the soul is saying, touch your heart, touch your soul, touch that which is the most important thing in your life, which is your heart. And you are the King of Cups, right? You are the one that is really asking itself all the time, what is this thing called love? You want to dive in it, you want to almost die in it, right? Because you have, through Scorpio, the possibility to die a small death, la petite mort, right? Which is what is called in France the orgasm. So she is literally telling you, yes, the sexual part is important, but touch your heart. Touch your heart with your right side. But she is looking into the left spinning cycle, so that's very much the soul speaking to you. But nevertheless, the right side is that side that's saying, okay, know thyself, and remember that if you go the right spinning path, which is her right hand here, right, that you will be challenged always, right? So remember to also cross with your left arm, which is your soul. So always find the union within you, find that which then creates within you this incredible energy, so you're never dependent on anybody else giving you something that you can give yourself. Very powerful. Wow. I mean, this is just so beautiful. And just to have a look that she is now looking at that, and of course you can be reading this as like, oh, what's happening here? Is there a love story going on, right? Because maybe this woman is like touching her heart because she's on the left side, and we see her from the back, and she's from the right side, and we see her from the front, right? It's very interesting. And of course everything has a meaning here, and the number of here is the 26, so you have a 6-6 portal and the 2-2 portal with the 2 here in the 26 with this 2, and of course calculated together that's then an 8, and the 8 is that infinite connection and also the connection with Aquarius. On the position of the Hanged Man, a state of consciousness that is just a number before your card, and card number 12, right? That's that state where we recognize a deep shift within ourselves, within our self-consciousness, and we reach a higher conscious state of being. And of course we see the legs marked like Jupiter, and of course this is the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter creating new experiences so that you can learn and grow. That's what Jupiter is all about. But also here is Scorpio, right? Up here in the corner with the eagle. You have Scorpio as the fixed zodiac sign that is holding the Wheel of Fortune with Aquarius and with Taurus and with Leo. And so you have Leo here and you have Aquarius in the Sun, right? So you already have two fixed signs speaking to you, helping you in recognizing now the next step, which is the Numite stone. And the Numite stone is the number 37. The 3 on the position of the Empress came this number 6 here, the self-love. Remember that you give birth to self-love. And the 7 is a success. You become successful when you know that you love yourself, and the 7 is in the card number 17 of Aquarius, right? And so the Numite is the Sorcerer's Stone. And the Sorcerer's Stone has come to you through the lightning. There has been a crash. There has been something that has really awakened you, that has like pushed you. And now here you are and you're recognizing, oh my God, I am empowered, because this beautiful stone is saying, master your own life and inner strength and to feel yourself. And so here we see how she's touching her heart so that she can feel, you know, the tapping, right? So sometimes when we have a little bit of a difficulty in the midst of our heart or in certain emotions that you can fall into very easy, tap your heart, tap the intelligence of your heart, right? And that's what, in a way, almost like what comes up with this card is like tapping, so that you recognize your true strength. Your true inner strength is to love yourself, not someone else. And then comes on your position, which is Scorpio, the 7 of Wands. Now you have actually 9 wands. So 7 wands is having the courage to fight against whatever it is that you sometimes have to fight, and that's Mars in Leo. And Leo has come on the position of the intuition. So recognize in your intuition that there lies also a certain spark of passion, and that sometimes the passion can delude your deeper understanding of intuition, right? And so the 7, which is then of course Mars in Leo, and this is Mars in Aries. You have Mars in Aries and Mars in Leo, and together you get the 9 of Wands. And the 9 is a completion. The 9 is an understanding that you now understand that you have the power by actively taking action, because you got here the lightning bolt and you got the King of Wands, maybe a friend who is a Leo, or maybe you have even Leo qualities within you. And remember, this is a Gemini, right? So the energy to fight without really fighting, to fight with love. Because this is the soul that spoke to you, right? Saying, recognize always the message behind what love really is. And so here the 9 wands, the completion in having fulfilled something with the Sorcerer's Stone. Very important. It's almost like there is a message coming from the other dimension to you. And you have to really understand that message. You have to understand that the courage is now to continue, even though you freshly have transformed yourself, right? Because the transformation has come to you, a huge transformation. And so now you're ready to continue the path. And even though it's difficult, right? Because when we just went through transformation, we're just like a baby. We're like very sensitive. And then comes on the position of the Tower, which is Mars, right? And you had Mars in Aries and Leo, the horse. And the horse is here the lightning. And the lightning has come, right? The lightning has come to you on the position of the Magician. And now the Magician gets the horse. It's an earth sign. And this horse is going to help you, because if you let go of Mars, if you let go of the 2 of Wands and the 7 of Wands, and altogether the 9 of Wands, that, oh, look at me, I've done all these things. Let go of it, because then you get true power, right? Horsepower. And that's really what this card is saying. Let go of the one that wants to be, you know, be this magnificent energy that shows others, look how amazing I am, and humbleness, right? The more humble we are, the more we tap our heart, the more we're in sync with the most beautiful energy, and that is always love. So the horse is coming, and it's speaking through the third eye, and it's always that third eye connection that we recognize, that the number 6, the 6th star, is the third eye, and through the third eye we can see the 7th chakra. We don't see the 7th chakra, we are the 7th chakra. And so the card number 6, where the third eye is residing, right, it's kind of like the horsepower is bringing you forward and helping you to now be that strength. And it's the last animal of the earth animals, right? So it's like it's the most powerful of all. Then on the position of Aquarius comes here the 4 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles is Sun in Capricorn, and Sun in Capricorn last time gave you're witnessing an increase of magical alchemy in your life. Now, what I see here, which is very interesting, is that you have created something for you, a beautiful home, everything amazing, everything beautiful, but you locked yourself up behind your own gates and you brought yourself into isolation. And so, yes, witnessing an increase of magical alchemy in your life, you got to go out, you got to go to the people, you got to connect with your tribe. And so here I see a little bit more of like a holding on, your house, you putting gates on, everything is locked up, and not many people can enjoy the space that you have created. It's a little bit like, okay, my home is my castle, right? Because this is kind of like you loving to be at your home, but then you also kind of like pushing people away because you're very sensitive with your emotions and you don't want to have just anybody at your house, which I understand, but nevertheless, let people come into your life. And so Aquarius is literally like, have a look at this. Really, it's shining a light onto that, right? And then the last 4 cards on the position of the Moon, which is on your position, right, comes the longing to evolve and to be the beloved and to have this radical acceptance. So here and now you get a 2-2 portal, right? The action to unite the things, the action then to continue further the actions into the 7, because this is Scorpio now, that's speaking directly to you through the Moon. And through the Moon you're getting here that you gotta really love yourself, you gotta accept yourself, you gotta come to that number 7, which is then through self-love, you seeing in the third eye your state of consciousness, and then you can become the 8, because you are the 8th house of reincarnation. So the 8 is speaking to you very clearly, very strongly, and the self-love that you are finding by really opening also your gates and allow people to come into your life, right? And no one can hurt you unless you allow them to hurt you, unless you have not empowered yourself yet and you don't know yourself yet, right? Physician, know thyself, right? That's a famous book that's saying if you don't know yourself, then how can anybody heal you? How can anybody approach you if you don't know yourself? So this is what's speaking deep from your subconscious, coming up, evolving into a deep, deep self-love. And then comes on the position of the sun, which is then, of course, in Aquarius right now, the snow. And this is the time where, of course, deep winter is here, right? And snow covers the land and it becomes quiet and silent. And that's where the star is. It's icy, it's cold where the star is. And here you recognize now a stillness. A stillness wants to come to you because on the position of the sun, which is in Aquarius, is this message that you cannot seclude yourself. It's gonna be important that you awaken to the fact that you have witnessed an increase of magical alchemy, and you gotta share that and you gotta use that. Otherwise, it's just gonna make out of you like someone that's just lost at home, and you gotta give that to people and bring that to people and recognize the silence that comes to you through Aquarius. This knowledge that you have the power that you have now, the sorcerer's stone coming to you, which is the 37, which becomes a 10. And this is a 34, which becomes a 7. So the 7 is speaking to you as a success that comes from deep within, right? Recognizing, knowing that you are able to really awaken to the power that Aquarius is bringing to you, and not putting that behind bars or putting that behind and locking it up in a house and just like knowing that you're powerful, but now share it with the people and still have the quiet, still have the understanding that yes, this clarity is something that I want to live, that I want to be. And then a last little push from your guardian angel, which is here, the wake up call, right? And it's the number 20. And the 20 is a milestone, is a cornerstone, the same like the 10. Right, and the 37, the Numites stone, which is the sorcerer's stones. You have the power now to bring your magical alchemy into the life, right? Really push it into the life. And so here comes the wake-up call, a last call that's saying details. Examine your situation and take care of every detail one step at a time. The number 32, which then becomes a 5. You don't have a 5 here. So 5s are always tests, but you have the 2, the intuition, where you have Leo on it. And you have the 3, which is the Empress, where you have the self-love. And then together the 5 is that what makes sense in your life. Focus on what makes sense, and then you can look at all these details and you see that now in this looking into this picture, the details will come to you and bring you the right information that you need to understand this moment. That what is your guardian angel trying to tell you? Right? And so then the last card, you get Sun in Virgo, the 8th of Pentacles. Then the world will recognize that you have worked on yourself, and the response will be fantastic because, as you can see, her body is to the right spinning cycle, her head to the left spinning cycle. So she is looking back into the left, her soul, right? And her physical body is literally saying, yeah, but that's where I'm going now. And so the left facing position of the sun in Virgo is giving you the power that you can do many things at the same time. So here you have the 8-8 portal, right? You have a clear 8-8 portal that you know in your heart all the things that you can do, that you become a master in what you're doing, because this is mastery. And as such, you recognize then that whatever continues now in the understanding of bringing the duality together is at the heart and is at the detail that you have to examine. It's almost like here this picture is like an art piece that you have created, that you started painting, and that you have gotten so good at painting or at being creative that now you have the inspiration to continue and maybe even go further out with the way you present your art. You have gotten really good at it, and because you've put the heart in it. The 8-8, right? You transformed and show that transformation through this art piece and bring this to the people. Wow, what a beautiful story. I hope I see you in the next one, because then we have the Earth spinning in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Pisces. Pisces is the old age, right? The age of Pisces that we're leaving. And so on the moon comes now here this radical acceptance to be the beloved, to be the love, to be the heart, to be love no matter what, right? And not put yourself behind bars anymore, to show your love and to show how much you have worked on your love and how much you really love yourself. And I think that's what's going to come in the sun in Pisces. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.